Well, good after. Nope, still morning. Good morning, my friends. I thought we'd drop in today and do a bit of a stitch with me. But first, let me welcome you and turn off the music. First, let me welcome you to the NeedleBugg. My name is Karen, and this is a channel about, I used to say cross stitch, but it has turned into all kinds of needlework, whether it be cross stitch, whether it be hardhanger, whether the rabbit hole I've just fallen into, which is needle lace. You never quite know what you'll find on any given episode. So, what I'd like to do first is welcome everybody. To all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming back and hanging out with me and bearing with all the bloopers and what have you as we have moved along. And to all the new subscribers, which there have been quite a few lately, thank you so very much for joining me. I hope you find something that you like here and that you will come back and hang out. Because, like I said, you never know what you're going to find. It's always different, always different. But today I thought we'd stitch a little bit on God Shed His Grace. It hasn't been out too much lately because I have put some stitches in Fred and I have been working on some needle lace, believe it or not. No, I've kind of really want to teach myself that. It's something new, it's interesting. Uh, the actual, it's knotted needle lace that I'm trying to do. And it's actually not, to make the knot is not difficult. To get the spacing equal in all of your seeds, I found out that's what they're called, seeds, is the hard part. To get everything, to get all of those little lengths of string even. And that just takes practice. I am getting better at it though. I've done a little bit this morning and it actually is the best one yet. So, Ashley of Become Inspired, thank you so very much for your emails. And thank you so much for your encouragement. But if you're interested in Armenian needle lace, please check out her channel. She has wonderful instructions there. I have watched, rewatched, and watched again many of her videos. Um, yeah, but it just takes practice. It's getting better. But today we're going to do some counted cross stitch because, just because I have been down a rabbit hole, I need to come back to some counted cross stitch. I still am working on Fred. He's just not out today. I still am working on my hardhanger piece. It hasn't been out a whole lot lately. I'm still working on the reticello. So I'm really kind of doing a whole lot of different stuff, which is why you'll never really know what you're going to find when you come on here. But I thought, you know what? It's been a bit since we've done a stitch with me, so guess what? I think it's about time. So let me flip you over and give you a gander of where we're at with God Shed His Grace. There we go. Uh-oh, where is my Windows? Oh, tell me it disconnected. No. Please, no. Oh, I've had just a heck of a time this morning setting up this stream. Okay, it should be there. It should be there. It should be there. Let's try this. Here it comes. Is this it? Hello? Well, there's part of it. I wonder if my... No, it says I'm still... Oh. True to form, ladies and gentlemen. True to form. Is this not always the case? Not that one. Not that one. Okay. Let's just set up the mirror again. I just have to remember how to do that. Screen mirror. Not now. Go there. Screen mirroring. Start broadcast. 3, 2, 1. Well, hello. Are we here now? There we go. Oh, wait, where'd you go? Oh, I guess I can't cover up. Or can I? Yeah, I can't cover it up. Oh, I can't. I can't have my other. There we go. Okay, it's a different app. It's a different app than I have used in the past because for some reason what I'm using now wasn't working. Imagine that. What else would be new? It's the story of my life. Things aren't working. So we will. Um, yeah, I don't know how to get rid of all that black, but that's okay. That's all right. There's always a kerfluffle, ladies and gentlemen. Always. Always. It's not a NeedleBugg stream without it. So I'm going to stitch a little bit, believe it or not. Yes, I have put this in markup. Don't ask me why. It's, you know the drill. Something different. Mainly because it gives me more statistics. And in all honesty, I think I like this better than Pattern Keeper. Now, my problem is going to be my camera is right at my head. So it's right here. I'm going to try and not continually bump it. And can I do this a little bit? What if? What if? I go this way. I know. I go this way. That's a little bit better for me. I don't know what it's like for you, but we're going to try it. At least I can see it a little bit better. So, what do we have to talk about today? I already told you I'm um, playing around with lace. I'm, I, as you can see, I've stitched a bit on God Shed His Grace on this one because I think when you saw it last, I was just over in here. So I've put all this on. This, in all honesty, really is my preferred one to work on. It really, really is. It's the one that calls my name more than any other. But, you know, yes, I have bunches of projects going. Not as many as some, but I have quite a few. Quite a few. But truth be told, I really am a concentrate on one at a time kind of gal. I I kind of get, well, we talked about that before. I get stuck on one, and then somebody dangles something out here. And then I move to that. But when I get into one, I really kind of like that's the one I want to stitch on. And I really am rather enjoying this one. And yes, do you notice, do you see anything here? Are you saying, Karen, how are you stitching now? Well, I'm picking an area, and right now the area, this is the page break. So I'm going to work this area across the bottom up to the page break. And then when I get this row of pages done, then I will move up to the next row of pages. Yeah. Okay, at least that is that's the plan this week. Is it going to change? Oh, maybe. I make no guarantees. No guarantees at all. nothing nothing in my world is guaranteed. It kind of is what it is. Oh, and I should mention, I don't know if you can hear it. Oh, but my thoughts are with everyone in the path of this horrendous, ugly storms that are going through. And I am in the Northeast. I'm in Pennsylvania. And it came to visit us last night, during the night. And my husband has been up all night running the gas powered pump, and that would be the humming noise that you possibly hear in the background. That is why I waited to start this video, but I think he's going to be running it most of the day um, to keep the water in the basement at bay. Whenever it snows, oh thank God this was not snow, ladies and gentlemen, but whenever we get really bad rains, and over the years it hasn't been a whole lot, just the the big storms, Lee and Agnes, and I don't remember all their names, but there were two times, and we live here 40, 42, no, yeah, 42 years. And in all that time, we, the water almost took out our furnace twice in 42 years. So really, that's not too bad considering. Um, but when it rains, when we get large amounts of rain over a short period of time, is when we get water. Now, the thing is, we do have two sump pumps in the basement, and normally they can take care of everything. It's not as long as we have electric, we're fine. However, this rain came with a gusto, and we had a whole lot of rain during the night. Um, that it just came in faster than the pumps that we have could take it out. So my husband had to go up in the shed and get the gas powered pump, which really does a phenomenal job, and it takes things out rather quickly. But till he got that pump, the gas pump, and hooked it up, I think he said we had 3 inches maybe of water in the basement. Now, let me just say, we do not have a finished basement. Part of our basement is cement. Part of our basement is ground. So we don't have, and we have never, because it's been a problem for 42 years. We've never put anything in the basement, um, just because of the flooding potential. I don't know why the township has set it up the way that it, I don't know why they haven't done anything and don't want to do anything about it, because every time we go to argue it, it's supposed to be that way. Well, supposed to be that way doesn't always cut it. There. Um, Route 422, which is one of our major highways, is right behind us. On the other side of that is a florist. And they have the majority of their humongous property in greenhouses, which that's fine. However, all of their runoff comes through a pipe underneath the highway. That pipe comes out in the corner of our property. It comes down through our property to another pipe that goes under our street and comes out behind the houses across the street, and then goes down to a quarry down in the back. Now, mind you, this is all free flowing. This is not contained in any kind of a pipe. So, when that starts, Our yard was completely flooded from a garage that sets away from the house, pretty far away from the house, up to the side porch of the house. Yeah. Now, I will tell you, our house was built, it's a very, very old house. Very, very old. It was built in the, as near as I can figure, the late 1700s or early 1800s. It was originally an old log home. Now it's a too darn big house. It's a 5 bedroom. Um, it's actually like 13 rooms, but they had around it, around the foundation, what they call is a French drain. Now I don't understand what all that means, other than there's access for water through that French drain to come into the basement, and you can see the grate where it actually comes in, and then it comes in and goes into the sump pump hole, and we pump it out, except for when it comes in too fast or too much, that the pumps can't handle it, which is what happened last night. So if you hear the hum, we are continuing to pump water today. Again, there's nothing to be damaged. We've lived here 42 years. It's been, we just do it. We just do it. But the thing that kind of gripes your goat, so to speak, is the fact that the florist has this giant holding pond in the front of their property, right along the highway, that gets planted every year with beautiful flowers, and it looks oh so pretty. But operative word there, it is a holding pond, which means it's supposed to hold water. I've yet in 42 years to see a lick of water being held in that pond, because it all comes down to my yard. Now, I won't say that occasionally we haven't reaped the benefits of that water coming down through our yard. There was occasions where I got a whole flat of flowers to plant in the flower bed. One year, a whole flat of geraniums came washing through and landed in the end. Well, guess what? I considered them payment for the inconvenience. I guess I could have been the better person and returned them and say, hey, these came down washing in my yard. But I didn't. I'll admit I was a bad girl, but I had to eat all their water. And when the pumps have to run like that, it takes a big toll on the electric bill. So, yeah, a flat of geraniums was a nice payment. But that's that. So, yeah, that's the the story of our little abode here. That if I can find them, I don't have pictures from last night because it was too dark. But I think I have some photographs somewhere. I'm almost positive I do. I'll put them at the end of this to show you what our yard does get like when it's flooded. Now, the thing is, also, when it gets really, really bad, along the front of our property is a wall. Now, that wall was street level before, when Main Street here was a dirt road. It's since been macadamed and all the stuff they do over the years. So now that wall is really not that much higher than street level. And that's where the pipe goes through. On our side, if I stand where the pipe is, that wall comes up to my chest. So that's how high it is. I'm shrinking, but 5'3". So you figure that's at least a 4-foot wall. Only one time since we live here that I can recollect, almost twice, the water got so high it went over that wall out onto Main Street. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can imagine the amount of water that comes in our basement. Now, the thing is, we sit low, and the water table is not too far beneath us. So when the water comes, it comes up pretty quickly. There were times I can remember standing down in the basement, and we were sweeping water into the sump pump, and as we're sweeping it in through the cracks in the concrete, you can see the water spouts coming up. I do think at one time, and I think that might have been partly why they had the French drain, but I think at one time there used to be a channel that flowed through the basement, and that's what they used as refrigeration at one time. But I don't know that for certain. So that's our little saga of the floodwaters. But yeah, the gas pump, which is the extra powered pump, which pumps a large amount of water in a very, very short time, has been running since about 3 o'clock this morning, and it is now 11:15. So yeah, it's one of those, it is what it is. It looks like I have a visitor that has popped up on my desk here, and he's gonna get testy like, okay, gotta move the keyboard out of the way because he's gonna want to lay down here. And if he doesn't have his space, then he gets snippy with me. We're at a half an hour. Okay, I don't want to do more than an hour here. You probably can't see him. He's right here. Oh, there he is. Say hello, Remy. Say hello to the peoples. Yeah. Say hello to the peoples. So, is everybody... Oh, thank you for moving my Q-snap here. Is everybody ready for Christmas? All your shopping done? All your gifts wrapped? I think well, no, I know I'm done. I will admit I don't decorate a lot anymore because the grandkids are getting older, They come Christmas afternoon, and that's about it. And I just, with the cats, don't want to put up a tree, because if I do that, just like little Mr. Fuss Budget here is sitting in front of my computer, and I have to move things out of the way for him, or he gets antsy and gets ugly. Um, I could see them in that tree and knocking it down. So it's like, nope, we're not. We're not even going to go there. um, but I did something different this year for the kids' Christmas presents, because, like I said, they're older, and they're at that stage where you want to call them tweens. They're not kids anymore, but they're not teenagers anymore. Um, they're not quite in their teens, but they're almost there. So it's like, what do you buy these children for Christmas? Like, just what? Because they don't want the toys, they don't want the Legos and all that kind of stuff anymore. And yet they're a little too young for some other things. Like, yeah. So Nana got them, because we only live 30 minutes from Hershey Park. So I got them season passes to Hershey Park. But then I thought, oh man, that comes in an envelope. All they get is an envelope to open. So I got them each one other gift, so that they at least had something to open, because, well, let me tell you, Hershey Park tickets for a whole family are not the cheapest things in the world. But I thought, okay, how can we make this fun? So when they get here, they get to go on a treasure hunt. That's how they're going to get their Christmas present. I have envelopes made up. I mean, what are you after here? You can't have my cords. I have envelopes made up. And Kat, you're being a PIA. Okay, just lay down there and be nice. So the first one they get says, "Are you ready? Let's go on a treasure hunt." La 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 la. And to get your first clue, you have to solve this puzzle. So it's a puzzle where it's one of those where each letter has a number, and they have to figure out where the next clue is hidden, because that's the answer to the puzzle. When they get to the next clue, on the outside of the envelope is a question that they have to answer before they can open the envelope to find out where to go next. So say if the first clue was go to the front door, when they got to the front door, then there's an envelope that will ask them a question like, I don't know, who decorated the first Christmas tree, or what country started the tradition of a Christmas tree. So they have to answer that. Now, what I'm going to tell them, so that they don't get through this so fast, because Abe is a year older than Emmy, and Abe's really, really smart, and Emmy's not too dumb either. but they have to come and tell their answer to me, whispered in my ear, so the other one doesn't hear. And when they both get the answer, then they can open the envelope. And when they open the envelope, there is either another clue or a puzzle, another puzzle that tells them where the next clue is. Okay, so they might have to do another type of a puzzle to get the answer that the next clue is wherever it is. Or it might be a riddle to say your next clue is somewhere where your clothes go. And it's a saying to get them to go to the dryer, for example, or to the microwave, or to a kitchen cupboard, or a closet, or I had to keep it downstairs, so, and in the house, because you never know what the weather's going to be. So, yeah. But every time, and when they open the envelope and it's a puzzle, they each get one. So they each have to answer everything before they move on to the next one. And then at the end, they get their Hershey Park passes and a little bit of extra monies. So it should be. Oh, the up sky drove right by. It should be fun. It should be fun. And they even asked, can we do it that way, Nana? Can you make us a treasure hunt? Sure, I can make you a treasure hunt. That's no big deal. And actually, if you want to do that for your grandkids or whoever, look on Etsy. I found a lot of the stuff that I needed, a lot of the puzzles and a lot of the quiz questions or trivia questions, and they give you all the answers. Now, some questions I don't know that these kids are going to know the answer to. But I'm going to tell them, well, if you need help, you can use my phone to look it up. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. But hopefully it will be fun. Hopefully it will take long enough so that they won't be bored until we have dinner. So we shall see. We shall see. How long have I been here? Okay. And let me do a little bit more yet. A little bit more of this color. Of course, it's the last card. I went back to using these cards. Look at them. They get a little ratty. But you know what? I really like the fact that you can just pull off one that you needed. And I made these cards myself. And look, and I did this. On the other side, I punched holes so that if I have extra string, now I only punched them as I used that color and had extra. I can put it over here so that when I need, okay, I need 936, but there's nothing there. I used that. So now I can get a new one. So I thought this was rather, yeah, a rather good idea. Or at least it's working for me. I am as wishy-washy with floss organization for when I am using it for a project as I am with the technique that I stitch. Oh, wait, but you knew that, right? It's nothing new. Shouldn't be. Nothing new. So what else do I have that's new? I had a lovely, lovely time last week with a stitching friend that lives not not next door close by, but with a short distance close by. And we met up over at Stitches Unlimited and did a little bit of shopping. And then went and had lunch. Oh, there it is. I don't know why it does that. Went and had lunch and chatted for a nice long time. It was a wonderful day. Hi, Sarah. Yeah, Sarah drove from, oh, a little bit of northern Pennsylvania down to me because she comes down to Stitches Unlimited, which is over outside of Lancaster. And we met there, and well, I'll tell you, I made some mistakes here, but you know what? This is all grass, so guess what? It really don't matter. um, there we go. We just had a lovely, lovely time and spent a lot of time talking with the shop owner, and um, yeah, it was fun. And it's, you know what? It's always nice to meet up with your stitching friends if you have the opportunity to do that. Um, yeah, always nice. And this particular shop is having a day stitch in January that Sarah will probably come down to. And as much as I would love to meet her there again, I am going to be at a retreat in Ocean City that weekend. So won't be able to do that, but that's coming so quickly. So very, very quickly. I'm so excited. At that retreat, I'm meeting up with some friends that, well, first, Barb and I are going together. She's my chauffeur. She's my BFF and my chauffeur. So that's always not any fun at all. We can get into trouble, the two of us, but that's okay. It's fun. Um, and then we're meeting up with two friends that we know that are coming up from Baltimore or going to be there from Baltimore. So that is always a wonderful, wonderful time to meet with them. So I am looking so forward to that. And I'm gonna, yeah, hopefully, no, it will be here. It will be here. I didn't tell any of you what I ordered. I ordered, I like my Dubco sofa stand. I do. Now that I finally have gotten the adjustment right, it's a great stand. I love it. The hard part is getting it adjusted in the right position for where you're sitting or what you're sitting on and the way you stitch. I can't stitch with things flat in front of me. I need it tilted, and I need it tilted at a pretty good angle. So it was a challenge to get the right um, combination for the chair. I found I didn't, well, I haven't tried it again on the sofa, but I can use it on either one of my recliner chairs. So um, that's working out well. But Barb got the table stand, and that is just great too. And she can use that on her lap. But it also comes with a piece that you can take the plate off the bottom of the table stand and put this extra piece, screw that on, and then it is a clamp that you can clamp it onto a table in front of you, which is perfect to take along to a retreat. So, guess what I ordered? It should be here. It is sitting in customs now. Okay, the tracking shows it's still in customs. It's been there since what's the date today? The 18th. It's been there 13, 14, 15, 16, 6 days. Why does it take so long? It's supposed to be here the day before Christmas. Operative word there is supposed to be. Funny thing though, you know what I noticed? Once a package gets to customs, it appears that they stop scanning it. Because my sofa stand was in customs about this amount of time, and I never got any further scans or updates, and the next thing you know, they're knocking on my front door for me to sign for it. What's with that? I don't understand. But I got my stand. And I'm expecting my table stand any day now. So I will be excited to take that along to a retreat and see just how it works. I do like the sofa stand, and I was always a hoop stitcher, but I'm turning into more of a larger, if I stitched with Q snaps before, it was never, I never made them very big. But with the stand, I can make them bigger. And I've kind of been liking that. Not having to move them so often, having a wider area to work in. I am stitching more in a cross-country by area kind of way. So it seems, and in fact, I'm getting quite a bit more done. Well, today I only stitched 40 stitches while I was on here, but still I have, you can see I have God Shed His Grace done at 13.6%. I've done over 18,000 stitches. So that's a nice thing. There's a picture of what it will look like when it's finished. See, that's the other thing I like about markup. If I use markup with a stitch for a stitch with me and I have it in here, that's all I have to do to show you what it looks like. That's it. What can I say? I don't know what that green line is. But anyway, oh, I know what it is. And I even have the color key in here if need be, but it tells me up here. Now, this is the only thing I wish was different here. Oh, I don't have a mouse. Up at the top in that little square above the icons, it tells you the color number, how many stitches of that color you started with, and how many stitches you have left to stitch, which is fabulous. However, when you get older and your eyes aren't doing you any favors. I wish that block was a little bigger. So maybe I will have to suggest that, of make that somehow. Can we make that a little bigger, even if it means moving it down here? Oh, you can't see it unless I, no, you can't see it. But down at the bottom, you could, where you can move to the different views. There's room. If they would put it down there and make it a little bigger, that would be great. Great, great, great. But is what it is. Well, my dear friends, we're looking at getting close to an hour here. Not quite, but close. And there's so much out there to watch with all the people doing Flossmas and all of that. I don't want to make this any longer than it need be. And we kind of talked about everything I had to talk about today. But one more thing. I wish each and every one of you who celebrate in one way or another a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy Holidays, or whatever it is that you celebrate this time of year. I hope you have a very joyous one. You get to spend it with your friends and your family, and you get to make some memories with your family. You know, I saved it. I'm going to read it to you as a end of video thing. I saw it on Instagram this morning, and I saved it, and it was just a very wonderful thing. So this is how it goes. And I hope all of you think about this over the holiday season. I read of a man who stood to speak at a funeral of a friend. I have to wait till he referred to the dates on a tombstone from the date beginning to end. He noted the first, hold on. Okay. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end, then noted the first came the date of birth and spoke the following date with tears, but said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For the dash represents all the time they spent alive on earth, and now only those who loved them knew what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about, I'm missing some of it here, for you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real and always try to understand the way other people feel. And be less quick to anger and show appreciation more and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If you treat each other with respect more often, wear a smile, remembering the special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read, with life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? So, I think we all need to remember how we spend our dash. So, with that, my friends, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. And I will probably not see you again until, oh, maybe the week between Christmas and New Year's. But if not, next year. So the other thing is, remember, okay, who's going to say it first? Come on, come on. Remember, the only rules in cross stitch are the ones you set for yourself. So thank you for joining me today and for giving up your precious time to spend some time with me. Bye-bye.